Robb Stark broke a promise, and a promise broken is a debt that must be paid, even years later and even in blood. To cross the river at the Twins with his army, Robb had needed Walder Frey's bridge and Walder Frey's goodwill, both of which came at a price. Robb swore an oath before witnesses that he would marry one of Frey's many daughters once the war was won, sealing an alliance between two houses that had never much liked each other. Then, Robb met Talisa, a healer from Volantis who tended wounded soldiers after his battles, and he fell in love the way young men in the middle of a war sometimes do, quickly and completely. He married her in secret, breaking his vow to Walder Frey without telling anyone how badly he had wounded the old lord's pride. Walder Frey did not forgive slights. He collected them. Robb tried to smooth things over. He offered his uncle Edmure Tully, Lord of Riverrun, as a replacement groom for one of Frey's daughters, hoping an uncle's marriage might satisfy an old man's wounded honor. Walder Frey agreed with a smile that should have worried everyone, and invited the entire Stark camp, lords, soldiers, and Robb's own mother, Catelyn, to celebrate the wedding feast inside the walls of the Twins. Catelyn felt something was wrong from the moment she noticed the musicians tuning strange instruments and the guards standing a little too still along the walls. She caught sight of chainmail hidden beneath a soldier's tunic just before the doors of the hall were barred shut from the outside. By then, it was already too late to warn anyone. The band began to play a grim, familiar tune. And on cue, the same musicians dropped their instruments and lifted crossbows instead. Robb's pregnant wife Talisa was struck down first, an act of pure cruelty meant to end the Stark line before it could continue into another generation. Robb was shot through the chest and the leg, while his mother screamed his name across the hall, powerless to reach him through the chaos of tables overturning and men dying around her. Catelyn, in her final act, grabbed Walder Frey's own wife and held a knife to her throat, threatening to kill her unless the slaughter stopped. No one cared enough to stop for her. She slit the woman's throat in despair just before Roose Bolton walked calmly up to his dying king. Roose Bolton said only that the Lannisters sent their regards, then drove a dagger straight into Robb's heart in front of his own mother. Catelyn was killed moments later, and Robb's body was defiled afterward, his direwolf's head sewn onto his corpse as a final insult, a message sent north to remind the Stark bannermen exactly who ruled the game now.